in the coding of the program number 1. In this part, I defined the pins of the LEDs and the segment to its corresponding pins where I connected it in Arduino and set the counter's initial value. Then in this part, I set up the input and output of the pins and a loop that will iterate over each of the 7 segments of the 7-segment display and sets the state to either high or low based on the digit to be displayed. Now in this part, I set up the serial communication that will be displayed on the computer. In this part, inside the void loop, I created an if statement that will increment the counter when the button is pressed and will reset the counter to 0 whenever it reaches 10 and will display it on the serial communication on the computer. Now in this part, I put the function to read the button state and also assigned a debounce delay. And in this part, I created the function to display a digit on the 7-segment display with the patterns of the segment that will be used to display the appropriate digit based on the counter. Now let Albert demonstrate it using Arduino.
So let's try Carl Joseph code for program 1. So here it is. Let's upload it. Let's try it out. It's the serial monitor. Now let's press C1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. That. Program 2. Switch controlled up and down counter. Connect a toggle switch and a 7-segment display on the Arduino Uno board. Write a program to control an up and down counter using a toggle switch, that is, when switch is equals on, the counter counts upward 0 to 9, otherwise it should count downward 9 to 0. Provide a 0.75 seconds delay for every count interval. Run the program and verify that it works properly. So here I have a code for program 2. So created a patterns for our 7-segment display. And for our setup, we set our segment pins as output, then our switch as input. Then here is for our loop. Okay, then let's try it out. You can see the 7-segment display is counting down, and when we turn on the switch, it should count up. There you go. And turn off again. So it's counting down. That's it. So for program 3, presettable up and down counter. Connect a toggle switch, 3 switches, the IP switch, and a 7-segment display on the Arduino board. Write a program to ask the user to enter a predefined number to start the count from, and a toggle switch input to determine whether to count up or down. The program can be switched from up or down interactively by switching the toggle switch. Provide a 0.75 seconds delay per count transition. So here is my code for this program. I wrote it in Arduino Uno IDE. So first, I write a pattern, segment patterns for the digits 0, 1 to 9. This is for my common cathode. So since we don't have a common anode 7 segments, we use a common cathode. So here is for my setup. So we initialize our segment pins as outputs, also the switch. So we have 2 switches, switch 1 and switch 2. Then I created a serial. So to enter a number from 0 to 9. And here is my code for loop. Here, then I created a function to display the number and function count up and down. So let's try this code now. upload. Show your monitor. So enter a number from 0 to 9 to start the countdown. So let's say we want it to start from number 4. There. Then I'm going to toggle this first switch to count up here. As you can see, it's counting up. Oops. Then let's turn it off. Then this switch to count down. There. So that's it for this program.
Now let's proceed to the coding of the program number 4. In this part, I define the pins of the LEDs and the segment to its corresponding pins where I connected it in Arduino. Then in this part, I map the pins of the 7 segment to display the corresponding numbers that will be used for the counter, which is from 9 to 0. The value 10 corresponds to the numbers from 9 to 0, and the value 7 corresponds to the 7 segments of the 7 segment display. Then in this part, this loop will iterate over each of the 7 segments of the 7 segment display and sets the state to either high or low based on the digit to be displayed. Then this part will display the digits based on the updated countdown. In this part, this will initialize the LED and the 7 segment pins as outputs. Then finally, this part will loop the countdown based on the color of the LED. It has a 1 second or 1000 millisecond delay, and the green will be on for 9 seconds, and when the timer reaches 1, the yellow LED will turn on for 1 second and the timer will reach 0. Then it will restart to 8 seconds for the timer of the red LED, then it will repeat forever. Let Albert demonstrate it using Arduino.
So let's try Carl Joseph code for this program 4. So code. As you can see, the green light is turned on for 9 seconds. And then the yellow one for 1 second. And the red one for 8 seconds. That's it, thank you. Program 5. Design your own switch and 7 segment application. Construct the test circuit on your Arduino Uno board, run the program, and verify that it works properly. For this program, I've just created a simple count up and down 7 segment display. So when I press a button, it should count up. Then when I press the button down, it will count down. So let's try it out. So for program 6 to 7, segment display marquee effect. Construct the test circuit on your Arduino Uno board, which comprises of the following components: 2 pieces LDR, 2 pieces of 7 segment display, or dual display, whichever is available. Create a program that will display a marquee effect of 2 messages. If LDR1 was enabled, it should display the message hello from left to right direction. Otherwise, display the message bye from right to left direction. Run the program and verify that it works. So here I've created the code for this program. So first I've defined pin for each segment of each letter. So this will represent letter H for the second display of 7 segment, and this letter H for the first display of 7 segment. And here is letter E, L, O, B, and Y. So I've also defined pins for my photoresistor. So we have a 2 pin and a 3 pin, and also we have a threshold value for brightness of the photoresistor, and created the function to initialize each pins as outputs. Also function to turn on the segments of a letter, and here is to turn off the segments of letter. So for void setup, I've initialized each pins. Also set pin mode for photoresistor 1 and 2 as input. And for my loop, here is the code. Here. So let's try it out. Let's verify if there is any error. Let's upload it. So here is the output for program 6 and 7. As you can see, it works fine. It displays the message hello from left to right. Now let's try the message bye. It also works perfectly fine. Yeah.